Welcome to the show that talks about Tulsa. People making a difference in the Tulsa community. Special guest interviews spotlighting local businesses that cover important issues within the community no one else is talking about. The hot topics and more. Ladies and gentlemen, this is World One Development's News You Can Use with your host, Mr. Charles Harper and Damali Wilson.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to World One Development's News You Can Use. We want to thank everyone for either listening on the radio, watching us on Facebook Live, and on www.KBOB899.com, or tuning into any of the News You Can Use media networks, which are powered by World One Development. We really appreciate that. I am your hostess with the mostest, Miss Damali Wilson.
And I'm Charles Harper. It's Wednesday, a.k.a. Hump Day, December 11th, 2024. And we are live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. right here on KBOB 89.9 FM and simulcast on the News You Can Use media network, powered by World One Development. We are set for an exciting show, you guys. You better call your mom and them and tell them you can dial in at 918-856-3873 or post your comments on our Facebook Live feed at World One Development.
So, on today's show, it's the medical report with Dr. Andre Perdue. The topic: does DNA and genetics have anything to do with gifts, talents, and what you become in life? We're going to talk about it.
I love it. We'll also talk about the housing meeting we attended yesterday and how it will affect our community.
And of course, our Hump Day hot topics, which are Shadur Sanders wins a major award, find out what, and the U.S. Mint is making history, find out how, birthdays, and more.
This is News You Can Use right here on KBOB 89.9 FM and simulcast. So the News You Can Use media network, powered by World One Development. We loaded. We got our seatbelts on. Y'all hang on, and we'll be right back, y'all.
This segment of the show is brought to you by Couples and Cocktails. Couples and Cocktails take place in Oklahoma City, February 14th, 2025, starring Keith Washington. For information, visit couplesandcocktails.com.
EduRec is a youth and family fun center located at 5424 North Madison Avenue in Tulsa, Oklahoma. At EduRec, we offer a host of activities for children and families of the Tulsa community at little to no cost. To find out about the many programs, activities, and services offered at EduRec, please visit our website, www.edurectulsa.com, or just give us a call at 918-430-3947.
Fitting Back In is a reintegration program designed to help those released from prison to fit back into the community as productive, valuable members of society. They help schedule various classes such as anger management, substance abuse, and mental health. They also work with different programs in the community to provide job training. If you or someone you know needs help with resources in career development, employment, or housing, to find out more information, call 918-592-3500 or stop by 2121 North Harvard Avenue, Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
The 36th Street North Event Center is a full-scale event center where we share the experiences of the community. At the event center, you can rent space for weddings, birthday parties, receptions, concerts, Greek events, quinceañeras, and much more. We also do custom decor, linen, and centerpieces. We're located at 1125 East 36th Street North. To book your next special event, business gathering, or community event, call us at 918-200-9046.
This is News You Can Use right here on KBOB 89.9 FM and simulcast. So the News You Can Use media network, powered by World One Development.
And we are back. So News You Can Use is all about shedding some light on the positive happenings in our community. There are many great businesses, programs, and events occurring in our neighborhood, and we felt the community needed to hear about those things, one, so we can support, and two, so we can be informed.
What's going on, family? I'm Charles Harper, Chief Executive Officer of World One Development, which includes Fitting Back In, EduRec Youth and Family Fun Center, and 36th Street North Event Center. My job, because the world wants to know, is to provide leadership for all aspects of World One Development, but the emphasis on long-term goals, growth, profits, and a return on that investment. And I am so excited and I am so elated to be one of the creators of this phenomenal show.
And I'm Damali Wilson, Chief Operating Officer for World One Development. And my job is designing and implementing business operations and establishing policy that promote company culture and vision. I'm also in charge of social media for all of the World One Development entities. If you would like to advertise your business or organization on this show or any of our other individual platforms, inbox me your contact information on Facebook Messenger so we we can talk. I'm also happy and elated to be one of the creators of this phenomenal show.
Damali, it's hump day. What's up?
It is hump day and it's cold outside and I don't like it.
It is a weird time of year.
Man.
It's really deceptive.
Yes.
The sun is out.
Yes.
The clouds is in the sky. It's all blue. And it looks so welcoming.
And it's like psych.
And you just want to put on your tank top and your shorts and you just
go on ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that. As soon
as you hit that door, it's not going down like that.
You know what? And I'm still in sinus jail, and it sounds like you kind of done joined me.
Just a little bit, but I'm all right.
Yeah, we trying to make it.
Yeah. And it seems like there's a whole lot of that going on. I am so glad.
It is. Like
doing
people all over everywhere are suffering. Yes, it is so sad.
How was your weekend?
So, let's talk about the weekend.
Man, it was
weekend,
crazy.
Wasn't it? So, last week, if you guys did not know and have not seen my Facebook post, which most of you should have by now, I attended the National Symposium for State and Local Reparations in Evanston, Illinois.
Yes.
I had a blast. This is actually my third time actually attending this conference. So, of course, I got friends there.
You got people.
Yeah. So, to be able to see my friends from, all across the country, from Kansas City, from Detroit, all of these different places, it was really good. But I actually, this time, our Beyond Apology Commission actually went. So, we had 10 of our commissioners and even our mayor.
That's big.
Mayor Monroe Nichols joined us on Thursday. We actually got there. So we were there for a few days before he actually was able to show up. But he came in on Thursday and was able to hear Dr. Joy Angela DeGray. That's her name. And Minister Nuri Muhammad spoke. Now, if you have not heard them, they are some dynamic speakers. The first person symposium was actually held December the 4th through the 6th, and it brought together over 150 stakeholders, including reparation advocates, scholars, public interest, lawyers, elected officials, government representatives from all across the nation, and it focused on advancing local and state reparatory justice initiatives and fostering information sharing and networking and all of that. So we just kind of had a whole event.
Well, let me ask you this. I done been there 3 times.
Right.
How in the world did they respond to Monroe Nichols coming down? Mayor
he was a rock star.
I know
he was an absolute rock star. So, they knew that he was coming,
right?
Of course, because he registered, right? So they knew that he was coming, and so when he came in the room,
I know,
Robin Ruth Simmons gave him this warm, introduction. And before, it was like the whole audience erupted in applause and stood to their feet and, were just clapping and, championing him on. So it was amazing.
Let me tell y'all
amazing
this.
Sight.
If you don't know, and I promise you this, how well respected Tulsa is around this country, you are really missing it. If you go out to any of these conferences we go to, as soon as you say Tulsa, Black Wall Street, I came with.
Celebrity.
It is such a big deal. It took a minute for me. It was kind of overwhelming.
It still is.
But you got to tap into some of these things because Evanston, Illinois was actually the first one to get reparations.
Absolutely.
Robin Ruth Simmons. So check into that. But I'm glad y'all went down.
Yeah.
10 of y'all, the commissions is doing this job. The commission put together by the mayor.
Yes.
Then the current mayor went down. So kudos to y'all.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was a great, great, great trip. We had a really good time. And then on Saturday, when we get back, then our very own president of the Black Wall Street Chamber actually turned 50, Kuma Roberts. So we want to give a huge shout out to her.
Yes.
We did mention her last week that it was going to be her birthday, but her birthday party was so fun.
It was nice.
And I can tell you it was even more fun because she had never had a birthday party in her life.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. So this was her first. She was just crying and, and I'm like, don't cry because I'll cry with you. Let's not do that.
I got to give a shout out to Angie because a lot of times people take it for granted.
Yeah.
Thinking everybody have birthday parties and
exactly.
There's so many things that people don't get a chance to do sometimes because life be lifing. But I went to the party. Shout out to Angie Walker.
Yes.
Dixon Walker because she decorated up. But the food with Chef Cherry was great. So the whole thing was just a great ambiance all the way around.
Phenomenal experience. Another thing that I did over the weekend, I did a lot of stuff over the weekend.
You had a busy one.
Another thing that I was able to do over the weekend is Friendship Church actually had their Master's Choir live recording.
Man.
Listen, y'all. So, okay, y'all,
come on with
don't tell Bishop that I skipped church.
Just come on with it.
But we had a great time over there, with them. They came in, and I'm telling you, when I say that choir sung, they sang, and they had original songs that they had produced. They had some guest musicians come in and sing. They did a phenomenal job. It was so great that at the end of the recording, they had prepared us in the beginning and saying we may have to re-record some of the songs. So, just kind of bear with us. When we got to the end, the lady came up and announced that it was perfect. A one-take event.
Shout out to Pastor James.
Yeah, so they did a phenomenal job. Former Pastor Weldon Tisdale was there and sang on the tracks and on a couple of tracks, and so it was really nice.
I must admit now, I don't know about y'all, but I love it's like I can almost be ready to go home when it's a good choir. I don't know about y'all. Give me a good quiet church. Yes. The week be so heavy.
Yeah.
It be so much going on. When people sing, you be about to cry, about to faint, you want to run.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? Because you just really need that.
Yeah.
Because, you just carry a weight that you don't even understand. But when somebody sing and they look at you and they holler and scream and sing.
It was amazing. I'm telling you guys.
It gets you ready for the word.
So just know that in February, right, they're going to be dropping this album that they just put together. But of course, it's going to be live streamed. So you're going to be able to go to Spotify and all the places where you actually stream music and be able to purchase
we go to Apple Music.
This music. Apple Music. Yeah. Right. Okay. But you go to all those places, be able to purchase these tracks. And that, this is a fundraiser for them because they started also their capital campaign.
Girl, you're finna do a whole friendship.
Yeah.
We gotta move on with the show.
Well, I'm just saying that's what it's for. So it's not just we're just singing for nothing.
Right.
Yes.
But they dropping the album.
Make sure y'all support.
You're like it's a building fund. Then after that, pastor's gonna become a bishop. Then look,
they got a dope choir.
They got
do.
a dope choir, the dope church, and Pastor Jamal.
Real good energy.
Awesome job.
Yes, but it was singing with a purpose. Is what is the point.
Well, good job.
That was Damali Wilson corresponding on Friendship's new album dropping soon.
February.
Guess who else dropped the album?
Who's that?
Y'all ain't gonna y'all ready? Are you ready?
It wasn't Jay-Z.
If it wasn't Jay-Z,
I bet you wasn't Jay-Z. He dropped something else.
Now this is the biggest. This is the biggest album of the year.
What is it?
All right, this big, this huge. You ready?
This is the end of the year. Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Man, ain't nobody dropped no album.
This is bigger than
if
Kendrick
it was that
Lamar.
Big, you would know it.
Okay.
Okay, Kendrick dropped his album GNX a couple weeks ago. It's doing crazy.
Uh-huh.
But guess who's dropping their album?
Who's that?
Take a wild guess.
I have no clue.
I'm gonna give you one last clue.
No.
Dr. Purdue. He's in the building. West Coast, yay. That's all I'm gonna say.
I told you wasn't nobody dropping no album. I knew when he was saying all
Snoop
that.
Snoop Dogg.
Because if it was that big, you would know.
Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre are dropping his album.
When?
They just dropped this commercial yesterday. Check it out. Just give you a little snippet of it.
I pulled you over? DWB. Driving while black.
Dr. Dre is back.
Okay.
Oh my God. That's all I'm gonna give you.
No, give us 30 more seconds.
Okay, 30 more seconds. Check it out.
As long as they ain't gonna start cussing.
Okay.
Hey. Come on, 2023.
Oh my God.
Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg.
Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg officially gonna release the album. I think it may drop this Friday.
Oh,
that video dropped
Friday the 13th.
yesterday. I think it's gonna drop this Friday. Nobody knows,
Friday
but it's supposed to drop before the end of the year.
I can't wait for that for the mile.
That's
I'm not
amazing.
gonna lie. I'm back.
Okay.
I am so excited about Dr. Dre just because he hasn't put anything out in probably 10 plus years.
You know what? To me, Dr. Dre's his start, his bottom is excellence.
Man.
You know what I mean? Like whatever he do, the bar excellence just to kick it off.
Yeah.
And he up from there.
Yeah.
So hey, I can't wait.
Oh, man, it's gonna be crazy. Dr. Dre and
that,
Snoop Dogg?
Man. Yeah, so it's a lot of great stuff
happening. A lot of good stuff
that was
going
an
on.
NYCU.FM sneak peek.
Exclusive.
Just like that.
Exclusive.
Where we gonna go? Black History Trivia?
No, so before we get started, we want to send out prayers to the family, friends, and fans of acclaimed poet, activist, and university distinguished professor Emerita Nikki Giovanni.
Wow.
She passed away on December the 9th after battling cancer for the third time.
Wow.
She was 81 years old.
Prayer.
Cancer
sucks. Yeah,
know,
cancer
man.
totally does suck. So we want to send out prayers.
Absolutely.
So we're ready for Black History Trivia. If you guys want to hit it. Black History Trivia. What is the real meaning of Jingle Bells?
Is
it
Christmas holiday?
A Christmas song? Is it
is.
B, a movie?
It
Is it C, a harness? Or is it D, a location in the South?
I'm gonna go with harness.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like something that was used to alert
Read it one more time.
the
Okay,
master.
so What is the real meaning of Jingle Bells? Is it A, a Christmas song, B, a movie, C, a harness, or D, a location in the South?
I'm going with a Christmas song.
You're going to go with A.
Hey, JB said it's a Hornets.
That
Come
would
on,
be
we'll see heads.
harness. It would be C.
I think back in the day they might have put them on the slaves, so when they try to get away, they jingle bell.
All right. Well, we're going to find out.
We're gonna find out.
We'll find out later in the show.
So y'all stay locked in. All right, it's the second Wednesday of the month. Are we gonna get straight to it, or we're gonna take a break?
Second Wednesday, what happens?
Chilling on the corner in my 6 fault. Hypertension and stress. I don't need no more. 1, 2, 3 into the fault. The doctor's at the door, ready to make an entrance.
The doctor's in.
Doctor, please help us save the world.
Oh, yeah. It's time for the medical report with Dr. Andre Perdue. Right here, right now. With Charles and Damali on World One Development's News You Can Use.
What's up, Doc?
What's up?
Doc?
I love it.
Doc,
I missed y'all.
We miss you too, man. How you been? Where you been? What's going on?
Oh man, it's been busy at the hospital, man. So
Sure.
I had to do what I needed to do to make sure that we took care of patients in an appropriate fashion. But I have a little bit of time. It is a blessing being here with you guys today. I absolutely miss you guys anytime I don't get a chance to see you. So
We totally missed you too. It seems like we haven't seen you in like 3 months or so.
yeah. I think the last 2 months, I think we missed. So
Yeah.
So I know, Charles, you put on your white coat.
I put on my white coat,
did.
man.
Yes.
I did good by you, man.
And we
I
had to
did my
bust
part.
his head because it got
Man,
so big because he thought he was the
in.
man.
I'm glad you made it back though, because it only was for so long.
Dr. Dr. Charles Harper
Right.
checking in.
JB, you gonna do the camera stuff today? Because JB started researching and he done forgot all about the show.
I'm on it.
But anyway,
He said,
hey,
I'm on it.
we got a Black History trivia question. I want to give you an opportunity
Mhm.
to try to give your answer.
Okay. Well, you know what? It seems like the answer is too easy for it to be a Christmas song. So, and this might be one time when I might go with JB. I think that I think it was probably used as an alert of some kind way back in the day.
Man, y'all got me because it is C. When I don't know, I normally go with C.
Yes.
But I know Jingle Bell Shock. I know that. So we just go.
Jingle Bells are
We gonna let it.
It is a
We
jam.
gonna let it be.
And I
what it
will say
is.
this, that this week's trivia question, whoever gets it right, then their name is going to be put in a raffle for two
let 'em
free
put the camera
tickets.
on you.
Okay. Their name is going to be put in a raffle for 2 free tickets to win 2 free tickets to the Couples and Cocktails event that's going to be happening on February the 14th.
Oh, you like Keith Washington, huh?
Keith Washington,
So if you
yeah.
get it on the
R&B
live,
crooner.
So you'll get tickets to go to Oklahoma City.
so put your number in on the live. And so the first one to get it, because there's a lot of people on the live. So whoever put it in first,
Yes.
name goes into the hat.
Yes.
One at a time.
Just
like that.
And Dr. Perdue, I'm gonna put your name in a hat, a special hat. Because
Right.
I'm gonna send you an exclusive copy of the Dr. Dre album
Hey,
before it drops.
Yeah.
Man, I know
Yeah,
when you
you
heard
need
that, you was
that.
ready, huh?
You know I'm ready for
Yeah,
that.
ready
Yeah.
for it.
Hey, when you are the originator of a genre of music,
That
Yeah.
part.
you know what? As you said before, Charles, that his base is excellence.
Man.
Dr. Dre's on a whole nother level. So.
Man, whole nother level.
Like that. I gotta ask you this because I hadn't seen you since. How was your Thanksgiving? How was the family? Did you
I
eat too
know,
much?
right?
Did you maintain your weight? What happened?
Well, listen, I maintain my weight because I'm conscientious about making sure that I'm not going back for seconds and things of that sort. But it was fantastic. My mother-in-law and her husband came into town, and all of my kids were in town. So
That's always good.
It's always good. I don't need a whole lot other than my wife and to know that my children. I'd love to have my children with me, but as long as my children are safe, I can't ask for anything more than that.
Yep.
Just like that. I love it. I am so happy we are having a medical report today because we've been doing this 4-part series, Doc. And the 4-part series is on understand your DNA, gifts, talents, and the goal at the end of it is understanding your superpowers.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I think it's important if you understand your DNA.
Yep.
So we're kind of moving into your field. That might not be your specialty, but we still in your field.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're going to kind of talk about a little bit on today is how does your DNA and genetics affect your outcome of being successful or maybe not successful in life? Yeah. Does it play a role in that?
Well, listen, there's always that question of nature versus nurture. Man, we've all heard that. Man. And, from, my kids, particularly my oldest son, He was one who had certain characteristics that were very much like my own when I was his age, and so
Right.
that's probably a nurture thing. But as time goes on, nature plays a role. I'm a firm believer in the fact that God gives us all gifts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
that's essentially the foundation.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being the foundation, then as far as what you do with those gifts, it's predicated on the opportunities you have. It's also
Right.
predicated on the work that you put in. There are a lot of people that are walking around with amazing gifts, but they're not necessarily nurturing their gifts by doing the things
Absolutely.
that they need to.
Right.
So but I feel that within our DNA, the foundation within our DNA are our gifts, and also our gifts and talents,
Mm-hmm.
and you know what, our opportunities. We have opportunities
Right.
that we are born with that sometimes that we will more or less acquiesce to what the environment says or what a particular group of people says, or sometimes what our family says of what our limitations are. There are no limitations on a child. We place limitations on children a lot of times, and as we get older we place limitations on ourselves, saying, well, you know
Right.
what, I don't have the money, I can't do that. Well,
Right.
listen, there are certain things that you may need to have certain financial resolve for. There may be certain things that you may need to have a certain opportunity in, but there are so many amazing people out there that have kicked down, knocked down, broken
Man.
down doors just because of a lot of know-how, a lot of desire, and just not willing to let somebody tell them what they can and can't accomplish.
Let me throw this. I'm so happy you're here today.
I know,
One
right?
more question. I'm passing
Okay.
this to you. You got on your
Okay.
purple today. I understand.
I do
I
have on
understand.
purple.
You've been making moves. But I'm glad Doc is here because Damali and I did our African ancestry.
Mhm.
We did that research.
Okay.
Because the goal is, trying to understand what that DNA is.
Yeah.
So the thought is, and it came from me going to Israel.
Mhm.
And our tour guide person, we ride, and he was like, man, how many generations can you go back? And I was like, grandpa,
Mhm.
great grandpa, and then no idea after
Mhm.
that, like none.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he was like, well, I can go back like 35 generations.
Mhm.
When we meet as a family, we talk about each generation,
Right.
how we came about, strengths, weaknesses, the things that we did, how do we see. And I was just sitting there like, wow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Amazing.
And so Damani and I was talking, and because they're doing really, really well and got gold, got all of that. So my thought was, do we miss out on something, not understanding our DNA more?
Yeah.
So Damani and I was like, hey, we're going to do ours.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And the crazy thing is when I did mine, I understood that I was from Ghana,
Mhm.
the Alcon tribe. And when I did the research, and of course that goes by generations, one day they physically fit.
Mhm.
Now I'm all right. Now I ain't bragging, but I'm all right, Doc. I'm all right. They physically fit. They entrepreneurs. They business minded. They can dance. I can step a little bit. And also, they did not like to kidnap them because they would try to overtake the people. They're like, man, we don't really want to try to put them in slavery because they want to fight, escape, run. And so when I was looking at my life, I was like, man, that kind of me understanding my DNA, and my mom and dad's side is from there.
Right.
So then I came back to the States and did a little research. Now I'm 5 generations up in the States.
Right.
Mhm.
So now I went from Arkansas to your city, California,
Okay.
and end up in Mississippi 5 generations up, and our families are Fitch. And the dad is white and something. So now I'm finna just try to gap from Ghana to Mississippi.
Right.
And then give that to my kids. But my thing is, I know they do business and all of that, but my thing is this: if somebody is destined to be a doctor, a lawyer, a business, agriculture, scientist, but what if you don't know that? And by the time you're born, you're trying to get into other stuff and you're struggling, you still do it. But they say that if you find something that you do that you love, that you never work a day in your life.
Yeah, that's a mantra I use with my children all the time.
Ooh.
So, well, I think that, and that's fantastic that you've done that. And as a matter of fact, that's something that I want to do. I know a little bit. There's a book called Cane River that was on part of Oprah's book club that actually talks about the Purdue clan. Originally, we're actually from Italy. As a matter of fact, we're from Cologne, Italy, and we came down through Louisiana, and we actually have a split in our family at, I think, in the probably 4 or 5 generations before me, where there was 2 Purdues. One married a Caucasian woman and one married a black woman,
Mhm.
and that's where the family split.
Man,
Mhm.
right.
And so, it is important for you to know your ancestry, and and that's one thing about the Jewish population. The Bible essentially talks about their origin in
Yes.
life. When you talk about slavery,
Man.
one of the first things that was done is that we were removed from our history,
Man.
Mhm.
Right.
which is
Mhm.
one of the reasons why we have a lot of the problems that we have, is because if you don't know your history, it's hard for you to latch on to something to say that I'm better than this, or
Mhm.
I have a certain standard that I need to uphold because this is what my people have done.
Right.
And so, and that was done on purpose. And
Mhm.
so, we have to be intentional about the fact of looking into our ancestry and know that there is something always better for us.
Mhm.
Um, but again, I think that gets back to DNA.
Right.
When you look at your DNA, everything that you describe sounds like you.
Right.
And
Right.
so, and within all of us, we have not all of us, but most of us that are so blessed have the Holy Spirit, and that's your
Mhm.
essentially that's your consciousness that will tell you and guide you along the path that is best for you. I'm a firm believer in the fact that voice is trying to echo you, so that you are trying to optimize your past history
Sure.
into your future.
Mhm.
And so, nurture plays a big role in who we are and the things that we are able to accomplish,
Mhm.
and but nature does too. And I think that's why
Mhm.
we as parents, we as grandparents, we as mentors, we as leaders, we have a responsibility to try to show people, there is a pathway of being successful. And that's one reason why it's very hard when you see people who are successful and influential, and me being a black man, particularly people
Mhm.
that are black,
Right.
and you hear about some of the nonsense that's been done, recently, and we don't necessarily have to. All we have to say is the music industry. Some of the things
Mhm.
that are going on with individuals in the music industry, it taints that journey. We have a responsibility to be better, and it's not because I need to be better because of me. I need to be better because who's looking at me?
There you
My
go.
children
Right.
are looking at me.
Right. Uh-huh.
There are people in the community that are looking at me. My mother's looking down at me. I've got a responsibility to all of those individuals to be the best version of me.
Yeah.
And if I then do not do that, then I'm placing some degree of shame on them, as well as I'm actually letting the younger generation of those individuals know that, hey, you know what, even if you think your game is tight, you can be knocked off of, not so much a pedestal, but you can be
Right.
knocked off your road
Mhm.
just by making poor decisions.
Right.
Absolutely.
So,
Right.
All right, Damali, jump in here. So
This is crazy because, okay, so of course, these two things are relate to one another, but it's not scientifically so.
Yeah.
Let's say that. And so of course I go to Google because I want to
Yes.
see what Google has to
All
say,
that
right?
stuff.
Actually, Google is saying exactly what you're saying. So what Google says is that DNA does play a significant role in shaping what you become in life by influencing various aspects like your physical appearance, susceptibility to certain diseases, and even certain personality traits. Although environment factors also play a crucial role in how these genetic predispositions manifest.
Right.
They say who we are appears to be a product of both nature and nurture.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you
said.
just
Doc,
said.
that's why you in the building, man.
Yes.
I told you I
Yeah.
couldn't wait till you got here. Damali, for the women and the women, I told my little version of why we came up with this DNA and what was going on. Because our goal is to get people to, whether it's African ancestry or some of these other platforms you can go on, go to that to at least understand that, get that component,
Right.
and then pull back on it to see what you can unpack from it. So how was it for you? Because you did yours, and
Right.
what did you learn to understand?
So I did my African ancestry, and I think we should get with African ancestry because they owe us
See
money.
what we can
But
hook
anyway,
up.
so I did my African ancestry, and I only did it on my mother's side of the family because my father is deceased. So I'm gonna have to convince one of my brothers to do it. But on my mother's side, we come from Cameroon, from the Takar tribe.
Okay.
And so it's funny, like throughout my life, I've always been like really crafty and like always, trying to do something. And I'm looking at like nobody in my family actually does that. So if you want to do decorations, they're like, oh, call Damali because she'll, and so I'm always doing something. But it's like we never could really figure out where it came from. Well, I come to find out that Takar people, that's what they are. They're artisans. They're creative. They do things with their hands, they are intellectuals. And so which explains how I ended up being in a law office versus, nobody in my family is off into law or, or intellectuals like that, you know? So it was just kind of interesting to me, like how it parallels, even though I've never, I never even knew any of this information. And there's no history that we can trace back, like, because I think I can only go back to maybe my great grandparents. And know who they are because of the stories that my mom has told. I never met them because they were deceased before I was born.
Right.
So, I can only go back, 3 generations, know? And so to know that before that, I am being influenced in my DNA, is actually influencing what I do today.
Right.
Which is amazing to me.
Right. I want to add this in, and I'll let JB jump in too. It's like 3 parts to it. The first thing I'm just going to throw out, when I went to a conference, the one lady in Omaha said it takes 4 generations to create like wealth. It takes 4 consistent generations doing something. It makes me think about that because when I think about Asians and Hispanics and some people, they kind of do the same thing for 4 generations, which kind of go into that DNA. What are your gifts and talents and strengths? But it seemed like they end up in a much better financial position. So my question today is, what was the first thing for all 4 of us that we wanted to be that when we go back when we was young? Well, that was kindergarten, first grade. What did we say we wanted to be versus what did we become? And then maybe why we changed from what we thought we wanted to be when we started. I'll go first.
Okay.
The first thing I wanted to be when I was a kid and I can remember was a fireman. That was the very first thing. I was going to be on the ladder saving the cats and y'all. Y'all have no idea. I was going to be the fireman of the year. But the first thing I wanted to be was a fireman. That's what I can remember that I wanted to be. I remember at 15, because I think God speaks to you in dreams and visions, I started having these visions and stuff about being in business. And you can ask my friends growing up. By 15, I said, man, one day, I want to be on Wall Street. And I said, I want to be running across the road and my papers blowing everywhere and I'm closing big business deals. That's what I used to say at 15 under the street, like in the hood when we got nothing but food stamp books. You see what I'm saying? And so one day I wake up when I'm in my 20s and guess where I'm at? I'm on Black Wall Street. I'm closing business. And I just kind of continued on that path. Which goes to the spiritual side of things, Because when you're in the hood and ain't nobody doing nothing, we far removed from that. So that's my little quick snippet in a minute. Dog, what was the first thing you said you wanted to be, and then how you get here?
Well, listen, I think the first thing that I wanted to do because I was big in athletics was to be an athlete. And so but when you're 5'8" and weigh about 150 pounds, you know good and well that you got some limitations.
It's a couple limitations.
I had some limitations. But you know what? One of my favorite television shows when I was growing up was Marcus Welby, MD.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
And the thing that was so striking to me was the fact that he had a hand on so many people's lives, not necessarily that he was practicing medicine, but his overall influence on everyone's life on the show was positive. Did I make up my mind at that particular point that, hey, I wanted to go into medicine? Probably not. But that always struck me that you know what, I want to have a positive influence on the people's lives in my community. And and then when I went to college, actually I went to UCLA. I went to UCLA for all the wrong reasons, but this lets you know that God takes care of babies and fools. And you know what? And I will classify myself as the latter of those two. And I went to college interested in a business degree. Because my father owned his own company at the time. And so I went to UCLA. They did not have a business administration major. So I thought, well, I'll go into economics. That can't be that different.
Right.
I was in the front row going to sleep in the middle of the class. So I knew that wasn't going to work. But I happened to read a newspaper, a school paper, and that particular week, and they had an advertisement in regards to looking for athletic trainers for the sports programs. And so I applied. I ended up becoming an athletic trainer for the UCLA women's athletic program.
Right.
And that kind of spurred me into going into medicine.
Wow.
So even if you detour from what your DNA may tell you,
Right.
you know what? If you listen to God will he can redirect you back if you're willing to listen. A lot of times we think we know what we want to do.
That's right.
And we don't know what we want to do. We want to do what somebody else is doing. And sometimes your gifts are just different than somebody else's.
You don't line up with that. Man, that's powerful. He's like I was in the business class dozing off on the
Right.
Woke up and found something in the paper and then end up on where you're. I can't wait to see what JB gonna say. Because he got so many gifts, so many times. But JB, what was the first thing you can remember that you could say, this is what I want to be when I grow up?
Man, I think it would have to be probably in the military, like a soldier or like something military related.
Like a drill sergeant?
Like a lieutenant or a captain.
Really? You gonna be yelling at folks?
No, I wanted to fly airplanes and like
What?
jets.
Air Force.
And, yeah, like Air Force.
Okay,
The Navy.
come on, James.
Yeah. So I think that was really the first thing I really wanted to do.
And then what happened?
And then I started, just following in my father's footsteps. And the culture that we were involved in had a lot to do with music. So I got into that. And my dad did it for 30, 40 years. And before that, my family, the Jones family DNA that list is long because that's a very common name. There's a lot of us, and I think getting the research on that. My mom's worked on some of it. We haven't finished it yet, and I definitely have to do our side with my grandmothers, and especially going back to the Indians and they were light skinned, very light skinned. My grandmother was very light, so some people would think she had Caucasian or European, some European in her, but we're still trying to figure that out. So the jury's out on the deep, where my talents and gifts come from. But as far as my dad and the culture I was raised up in, I think that has a lot to do with it.
So it was a learned behavior.
Yeah, it was learned behavior, definitely.
Yeah.
And I stayed out of trouble too. I didn't get in no trouble.
Yeah,
The
that's
Molly.
good.
We saved the ladies for last. Because I can't, because I sure don't know. I am so curious to know what was the first thing that Molly wanted to be that she can remember.
First thing,
A race car driver.
You know what? I should have been. Now because I got a need for speed, honey. So the first thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to be a nurse.
Wow.
And the reason I wanted to be a nurse is because my mother was a nurse. Yeah. And so my mother worked in the. I probably was maybe 5.
Man, so you want to be a nurse?
Maybe 5, 4 or 5, something like that. And then it switched somehow because I started to watch my aunt. My aunt worked in a hospital, but she was the housekeeping administrator. And I just love the fact that my aunt was always in suits every day, baby. She was dressed to the 9. You hear me?
Okay.
Yeah, she was a supervisor. And so she was always dressed and she was always barking orders. And I said, you know what? I think that should be me right there.
Right.
I need to do that.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then as I grew older, something about seeing my community, and I used to tell my mom, I'm like, when I get big, I just want to do something to make our community pretty because our community looks raggedy right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I guess all of that has now turned into what I do today. So I actually started out working in a law office. So I guess that's that administrative piece, that being in a law office, which now has navigated into doing World One Development, where we're doing just everything that we can do to help make our community a better place for everybody.
Yeah.
That's good. And the ticket is, and I want to ask just to see what everybody's perception is, the difference between gifts and talents, because they are close. And just what your thought is.
We all have given ours. I think we need to let Doc answer the
gifts
question.
versus talents.
Yeah, that's a great question. When I think of talents, I think that I think gifts are what God has given me, And I think what I do with that gift is a talent. And so, I think if someone were to say, what are some of my gifts? I mean, I'm very analytical. I mean, to be a physician, I'm very analytical. I like to think that I'm very intelligent. But I think the most important thing for me is I feel I'm very compassionate, and I'm very humble.
Yeah.
My children might not necessarily think about the compassion element of it, but I take a great deal of pride, in a good way, in the fact that I'm compassionate and I'm caring, but I'm also very humble because I never want the gifts that I've been given to be taken away from me.
Yes. Oh, right. Yeah.
And Damali, what it makes me think about is when you think about gifts versus talents. And I agree with you. I think gifts are the things where some people can get an instrument, 5, 6 years old, a guitar or something, or get on the piano, and they start playing it. And everybody's sitting back like, wow, no lessons, no nothing. It's just there. Some people can run. Some other people, when they run, they look like they're walking. It's a gift that you can just run.
Right.
You know, and so that's what we're trying to line up, because I go like next week when we talk, from all the information we're gathering, is to try to help people find their superpower. So hopefully have people operating their gifts and talents, because you can do something you love, but it's your gift. If you're doing something every day and you're like, I can't wait to get off so I can go home and get out of here, I hate everybody.
Right.
Then my take is that's not working in like your gift or your superpower.
Because you know what? Because people who, and my wife and I talk about this all the time, I have a calling in medicine. So I look at, you can either have a job,
right?
Okay, a job essentially all I'm doing is paying bills,
right?
I can have a career, which means I have an aptitude for this, and I get some enjoyment. But you know what? Whether I'm here or there, you know what? I'm always looking for the next thing. Or you can have a calling, and I think a calling is that this is what God has put in my life. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is what my journey is here. And something I tell my children all the time: find a calling.
Yes.
Because if you find a calling, then it doesn't matter how much money you make. Because if you show excellence in anything that you do in this life, you'll be well compensated for it.
You know what? And I am in agreement with you on that, because it's like for me, so I can just speak for myself. When I was working in a law firm, I had a really good career, was making decent money, didn't have a complaint, live well. But when I made the decision to I was praying and Lord, I really enjoy what I'm doing over here with World One Development, and it got to a point where it was like that kind of overtook what I was doing every day. Like I would work my 9 to 5, get off at 5, go and work at EduRec or at the event center and be there till like 1 in the morning and not even realize that I've been there, because it's just like, oh my God, this is so, I'm just soaking this all up. And so it got to a point where the development took over my job. And when I decided, I'm listening to TD Jakes, and he had a series called Instinct that was going on at the time. And Bishop Jakes, I was just like, is this dude talking about me? Like that's how it felt, was like he is talking to me. And I finally just made the decision. I'm like, you know what, Lord, I'm just going to trust you, because I believe that this is what you're telling me to do. So I'm just going to jump out here on faith, and either I'm going to sink or I'm going to swim. And here we are 11 years later, and this journey has put me before men that I never thought I would see. I'm doing things that I never thought I would do. I've been places that I never thought I would go. So when you talk about the calling, I can totally relate to that, because that's what I'm living right now.
They said your gifts will bring you before men, bring you before kings.
And I bet you, if you really do an internal search, when you were going through that process, the Holy Spirit was telling you that this is what you need to do.
Exactly.
And you were fighting it.
And I was fighting. Because I'm like, I got kids. I got
kids. I'm making a certain amount of money. So on and so forth. But you know what? When you are in your calling, you don't have to be convinced that that's what they're supposed to do.
Hey, we're going to take a real quick break. When we come back, we're going to ask ourselves the question: are we operating in our superpower? Yes or no, and this is why. KBOB 89.9 FM. News you can use. Charles and Damali, DNA, gifts, talents, and your superpower. We'll be right back, y'all.
And the purple lion is on the loose. Anyway, check this out, man. This segment of the show is brought to you by KBOB 89.9 and 36th Street North Event Center as they present the Eating Out Band live all-white holiday affair. Tickets and tables are now on sale and going fast. For details on how you can get yours and more info, go to allwhitetulsa.eventbrite.com. That's allwhitetulsa.eventbrite.com and mark your calendars for December 28th. That's a Saturday night. The grown folks are stepping out with the Eating Out Band. We'll be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere. It's KBOB 89.9 News you can use.
The 36th Street North Event Center is a full-scale event center where we share the experiences of the community. At the Event Center, you can rent space for weddings, birthday parties, receptions, concerts, Greek events, quinceañeras, and much more. We also do custom decor, linen, and centerpieces. We're located at 1125 East 36th Street North. To book your next special event, business gathering, or community event, call us at 918-200-9046.
Fitting Back In is a reintegration program designed to help those released from prison to fit back into the community as productive, valuable members of society. They help schedule various classes such as anger management, substance abuse, and mental health. They also work with different programs in the community to provide job training. If you or someone you know needs help with resources in career development, employment, or housing, to find out more information, call 918-592-3500 or stop by 2121 North Harvard Avenue, Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
The Juice Radio Show and KBOB 89.9 would like to say thank you to all of our listeners and sponsors who donate to help keep our media program alive, reaching the community. The Juice Radio Network continues to expand as influencers in the community of North Tulsa and beyond, but can't do that without your help. That's why it's important that we as a community continue to support the Juice Radio Show and keep 89.9 on the air. The community not only deserves this service, but needs this service. Let's continue to support the mission and giving a voice to the voiceless and donate to the Juice Radio Show. The Juice Radio Show is a nonprofit 501c3 powered by KBOB 89.9 and Eden Media Services, operating solely off the gifts, donations, and contributions made by listeners like yourself. All donations made to the Juice Radio Show are tax deductible and can be sent to 1216 North Lansing Avenue, Suite D, Tulsa, Oklahoma 74106.
It's Tulsa, Tulsa, I see you here. In Tulsa, I'm in Tulsa chillin'.
We appreciate your continued support and thanks for listening to KBOB 89.9 FM.
The 89.9 FM World One Development News you can use. Charles and Damali, and we are back.
We are back, and we have been talking about DNA, genetics, gifts, talents, and now we're going to focus just a little bit on superpowers. Just a little bit, and then we'll move on with the show. Because, you know, as you guys know, next week is when we're going to actually really talk about superpowers. Dig into it and help you guys figure out. And you guys should be doing your homework. You know, you guys should have already by now, got your test kit for African ancestry. So that we can, or something, so we can figure out where you come from so that you can know what tribe and maybe some of those characteristics line up with what you're doing
Where
today.
Where you get that at Priceline.com?
What?
Priceline.com?
That's flight. That's travel.
I thought you get the African ancestry.
No.
The whole time I'm searching for mine on Priceline.
Bro, AfricanAncestry.com.
I was on Expedia and Priceline looking for this. You didn't tell me that.
She didn't say that though, JB. She didn't say it. You got to be clear when you communicate.
I recall saying AfricanAncestry.com.
Okay, I'm going to try to get it done before the end of the year.
Okay. Praise the Lord.
Thank you. But Damali, we got another special guest.
We do have another special guest.
Join the show.
Yes, we have another special guest. It is the better half to this duo here.
Right.
This is our sister, Miss Purdue. She came in to sit at the table, Miss Jolie, and join us because we want you to chime in.
Yes, indeed.
We want you to give your answer. You heard all of our answers.
We've been talking.
Yes. Yeah. We have been talking when we're talking about gifts, talents, and superpowers. Mm-hmm. So what do you think about the conversation thus far?
Well, I've enjoyed it immensely. And I've been sitting back thinking, you guys are completely operating in your gifts and your talents and in your superpower.
Thank
You
you.
have to know that.
Yeah.
Because everything you do is about the edification of others. And it's never about yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And you all are being blessed. You have blessings upon blessings being poured out to further your cause. So
Yeah.
you have, please don't ever question
Right.
that you are operating
Right.
in your superpower.
Yes.
And selfishly, I'm going to say, braggingly, I'm going to say, my husband is operating in his superpower because I have seen the way he has cared for patients. I have seen the way, and it's not just about the medicine. He will pray with a patient that's afraid. He prays before he does every procedure to allow God's hands to work through him and not be his own.
Right.
He had. Okay, here's a little bragging moment.
Come on.
He had a patient. Well, we're from Virginia. We came from Virginia to here.
Right.
He had a patient come all the way from Virginia to see him because they didn't want anybody else to treat them in Virginia.
See?
What?
See? Yeah,
That's
that speaks. Yeah.
I'm still curious to know. I still want to know, what did you first want to be when you was go back as far as you can to say, this is what I wanted to be, the first thing I said.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I have a clear memory of saying, my grandmother used to say, you can be anything you want to be. And she would pour that
foundation.
into it.
There
She
you
would
go.
pour that in. But I remember thinking, but I can never be president. I remember having that thought.
Oh, that was your first.
Wow.
That was my first career thought.
I can never be president.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So after that, I said, well, I want to benefit children. I've always had a heart for children. I want to help children that like don't have family or they're abused or that are in trouble. And so I wanted to go into litigation, into family law.
Yes.
And then once I got through towards school, I thought, if I go into that, I'm going to end up in jail. Because somebody's going to
play no games.
Somebody's going to hurt a child.
And then it's going to be over. I'm going to have to come for you. I don't want to do it.
So I said, let me help myself and not go there.
Right.
Let me just find another way to be an advocate for those children.
Right.
That's not the way.
Yeah.
So I decided to go into teaching.
Yeah.
And was blessed, went through school, got married, we had children, and we were able to stay home. And I said, you know what, there's another way I can bless children. So I prayed and I said, what else am I supposed to be doing, Lord? And I have studied martial arts for many years. And then he gave me a business to teach self-defense, thinking I had arrived.
That was it.
I'm here. I got this.
This is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
Do you know the Lord said, no, that's not what you're supposed to be doing.
Oh man, here we go. The spiritual.
This
battle.
is when the Lord works on you and you fight it. I was fighting it.
Yeah, and you literally a fighter.
I can totally relate to what
no.
Yeah. I was like, that cannot be it.
Damali, she a fighter and she can fight.
Right.
Chop Jesus. Chop the Holy Spirit.
I knew I saw some guns on her.
Trying to drop them things on somebody.
Right.
The Lord, during COVID, was working on me to go into real estate.
Wow.
And investment. And I was like, I'm interested, but I don't know about this. That is not my background. I haven't had any education in that. So he's like, well, here's a program for you to study that. Take that program. So I did. Here's some stocks. Study up on that. Do some multifamily. Get in on that. And then he started putting people in my path who were in that field.
Yeah.
And it was so easy. Like I understood it. It was easy. He brought more people. Now we started a company. I said, I hope you don't mind, but I started a new bank account to do some investment.
And he's like, well, okay.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I said.
Okay.
But now we own properties. I'm managing those properties. I'm the project manager of the construction of other projects. He's putting all this, and I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing because I'm not stressed. We talk about how you would go to work after your 9 to 5 and you'd be there to 1 a.m, not pressed.
No big deal.
Because time flew, because that's what you were supposed to be doing. This is what I'm supposed to be doing, because every time somebody says, well, he even says, I really appreciate this. I know this is a lot on you. I said, you know what? It is. but I'm not
But it's not.
stressed.
Yeah.
I'm heightened.
Yeah.
I'm not stressed. This
Right.
is what I'm supposed to be doing.
You know what? And
Man,
that's the
that's
biggest
good
thing
to say
about
that.
that when you start walking in your purpose. Because I remember one of the things that Bishop Jake said was that success doesn't look the way you think it does.
Right.
And they definitely don't feel like it is.
And it
doesn't.
does not feel the way you think it's going to feel,
Yeah.
right? And so for me, this journey has been like, if you work in the not-for-profit space, it really is what it says. It's not for
Yeah.
profit,
Right.
right?
Right.
And so it ain't about the money.
No.
You know, and when I sit around this table and I listen to all of us and like the people that are now in my circle,
Wow.
we're all service oriented. We're
Mhm.
all about benefiting mankind,
Mhm.
you know, elevating.
world
Like,
better.
so we are all showing the Christ in us by what we do for others.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Right. It ain't even about, you know, I mean, like, yeah, money's great. Like, and we need it to survive.
Right.
But like at the end of the day, I don't go home and think about, oh man, I didn't get a check. Now I know I need to pay my mortgage.
Right.
You know, so I'm like, okay, I got to figure a couple things out.
Right.
But am I stressed about the fact that I didn't pay my mortgage? No, not really.
Because
You know, I'm
God's
just like,
gonna provide
God's
that.
going to
God's
figure
gonna
something
always
out.
provide.
You
Yes,
know, He's
indeed.
going to show up on time. You know what I'm saying?
Always.
So I ain't
So
tripping.
to the main question, we'll go around. JB, you ready? Y'all ready?
All right, let's do it.
Are you operating in your superpower? Yes or no? And why do you think that? That's just your own personal. Now, y'all, what I love about y'all being on it, y'all been riding together. So y'all have transitioned together with the superpower, all this stuff, but this just your individual.
Yeah.
I am, and this is why. And I'm going to start with JB Smooth.
Oh, yeah, what's going on, Charles?
Do you feel like you're operating your superpower? If so, yes, no, or, and this is why.
I'll reveal my superpower next week.
Next week?
Yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, you know, at times I think we all do. At times you do, and then there's times you don't. You know, it's part of life. I guess failures and successes in there. We've had some of both moments. So yeah, different times, yes and no.
That's good. That's good.
Honest.
Okay, now a male went. Now one of y'all got to go. Y'all want me to flip a coin, or one of y'all gonna jump in there?
Whoever, whichever.
I'll go.
Come
Yeah.
on, Jolie.
I would say yes. I feel like I am. I feel that I am not the superpower that I thought I had. The
Ooh.
superpower
Ooh.
that God
Oh,
says that
See
I
there?
have.
See there? Jolie
good.
always adds some sauce
That's
and
good.
stuff.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. That's
Because
really
when we
good.
first moved here and we didn't know anything about Black Wall Street, and I said, why can't Black Wall Street, North Tulsa, be as great as it was then? And it's always been our mission to help with housing in North Tulsa. I said everybody should have beautiful a place to live,
That part.
a comfortable, affordable place to live, and that's what we're able to contribute to, and that's what I'm most proud of.
Yeah, I'm gonna go next because I don't want the pressure of going last. I don't know what these two might say. I want the pressure. I'm gonna get mine out of the way. If they say something super profound, then I don't want to say nothing. But anyway, I'll let JB switch the camera first. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I would say I think I'm operating in my superpower. I believe that I am. And one, because of the path that God put me on, He kind of showed it to me. So in my vision and dreams, it's like I'm living in the vision and dreams that He showed me. That's number one. And I would say number two, so many people ask me, I don't even see how y'all do what you do. Charles, I don't even see how you do what you do.
I say the same thing.
And it's no problem for me. But when I have to go back and think about it, I know I'm not operating in my own strength because
Yes.
I couldn't do it if I thought about
Yep,
it.
Right.
yep.
I kind of just got to do it,
Yeah.
be directed, and go on.
That's
And
word.
I got a plan in the vision, and He's blessing me. He's blessing the family, and I can see the impact. If you're putting time in, you're gonna see what's going on. And I feel like North Tulsa is a lot better. Just us five has been making this community better.
Yes,
You
indeed.
know, even this show that we on right now, we talking local, national, and international.
Yes.
Yes,
people
we,
are
yes,
on.
we are. Yes, we are.
So I'll say yes because hey, I feel good about what I'm doing, and it's an impact.
Yeah.
All right,
So I guess that's me. I'm
come on.
next.
Yeah, it's Dr. Purdue's show, so we're
Right.
gonna let him go last.
Right.
Come on, what you got? Are you in your superpower? Yes or no?
I would say yes. And the reason I would say yes is because of the things that I just said before. You know, I did not see myself doing the things that I'm doing. Like you said, it's just like, you know, I thought I was going to be doing something else, you know, and I'm in this space. But then I have been blessed to be at tables and at places, you know, that I never even it never even crossed my mind.
Yeah.
It never even crossed my mind that I would have this microphone sitting in my face and that I would be doing this for 5 years. Never crossed my mind.
Or touching the lives of people in another continent.
In another continent. Never touched my, I mean, it never even crossed my mind that these are the things that I would be doing. Now, I did say I wanted to travel.
Okay.
Right? I did say I wanted to help people. Right. But I never knew how both of those were going to come together. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so I just have been so blessed to be able to do the things that I do. Yeah. So I would say I definitely, and I agree with Charles in that people ask us all the time, how are you guys doing it? And we're like, I don't know, the Lord. I mean, all I can say is it's just God, because I don't even think about it. It's like, oh, I got these 45 things to do and I'm going to get them done.
And and I'm going to pass it to the doctor because it's his show, it's the medical report.
Right.
But I'll say this, like when I go to church every now and then, I let myself feel the weight of it. It is way too heavy.
Yeah.
Like every once in a while, when your decision weighs so much on so many others, like just your day-to-day decisions. So every now and then I say, okay, Lord, let me feel it. Oh, that's enough.
Yeah.
Like in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Take it back.
I'm done. Yeah.
Doc, this is the medical report. Are you in your superpowers and why?
Listen, you know what? I absolutely am. There's no doubt in my mind. And I don't think that there's been a doubt really since I got accepted into medical school. There have been so many different obstacles that have been just removed or obstacles that were placed there to just make me stronger, to kind of to make sure that I can jump over it, run through it, run under it, whatever it needs to be.
Right.
So I have no doubt in my mind that I'm working in my superpower. And one reason why is my wife has said this on many occasions, is the fact that, you know what, there's a peace in the things that you do. When you have peace and, peace of mind, and because as a physician, every day is not a great day.
Yeah.
I mean, I have patients that unfortunately that have had complications, or patients that, just have very bad pathology, and there's nothing that I can do other than to hold their hand or hold their loved one's hand, or to have that conversation with them about, the likelihood that their loved one's not going to be able to go home with them. But even through those really stressful and difficult times, there's peace, because I know that this is my calling. This is what I was made to do. And so, and with that comes all types of joy and elation, just because I know what my path is. The important thing for each of us is to make sure that we do the little things to stay on the path, because it doesn't take a lot to fall off the path.
That's right.
That's right. It doesn't take a lot. You have somebody who, hey, you know what, I'm going to give you X number of dollars if you come and you do this for me. Next thing you know, you doing that is now pulling you off of your path into doing something that you're doing for someone that you don't really want to do. So it's important that, be thankful of the path that you're on, but make sure that you keep looking at your feet and looking at your path to stay on it.
And I think that is, I think that trial comes because I think God tests us to see. Well, listen,
Jesus
understand.
Right, Jesus got tested.
Exactly.
Jesus was in the desert for 40 days.
That's
and
right.
You know what?
That's right.
After he was anointed, by God himself.
Exactly.
So if it's going to happen to Jesus, it's going to
happen to you.
Man,
hey,
for
sure.
I know we got to switch gears, but just so many people listening in locally, nationally, and internationally. I'm just glad we was able to have this conversation and hopefully add some value or something to somebody else's life.
Yes.
Yeah,
thank you for bringing me in.
Hey,
yes, your family.
Listen, what I would say for those that are listening, that you're never too old to define your calling.
Yeah,
right.
And so, listen, Grandma Moses started painting at the age of 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So you know what? You have to be introspective. You have to think, spend a lot of time thinking about, what are my gifts, and listen to the Holy Spirit, because the Holy Spirit's in you. The Holy Spirit. When we're quiet, the Holy Spirit can talk. The two of us can't talk at the same time.
And I think too that there are, like if you have things that you want to do, aspirations, goals, and all of that, I think that it's never too late to realize those, and that God will bless you to do that. Yeah. And so I'll share with you guys, that happened to me. I always wanted to pledge. Right. But I didn't. I wanted to go to HBCU, which I was too late for that, right? Because I went a different path, got
Mhm.
married, had kids, and all that stuff.
Mhm.
But then the other thing was I also wanted to pledge a sorority.
Mhm.
Never did, and so I thought, well, since I didn't go to the HBCU, I'm just going. That's dream deferred. I just it ain't gonna
Yep.
happen. And just recently, so I'm not even 30 days in, I actually was able to pledge Zeta. So
Yeah.
so
There
it's
you go,
just
there you go.
but that's God bringing it back full circle, because I never knew about a grad chapter.
Girl, why
right?
are our stories so aligned?
See what I'm
That's
saying?
just crazy.
Yeah, so we'll chat
All
offline.
right, y'all.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to have to switch gears real quick. We only got about 15 more minutes, but we can get it done.
Yes.
It was a big day on Monday.
Yes.
What went down in our
So
second segment?
I think that we're gonna hit this high level,
We gonna high
and then
level.
we'll come back and talk about it in more detail a little bit later, and maybe even bring our mayor on to talk about it a little
That'd
bit
be
more.
fantastic.
Let's hit high level so people know.
So yesterday we were actually invited to a breakfast meeting where Housing Partnership Network was introduced to the Tulsa community. They will be developing affordable housing solutions to address the shortage of affordable housing options here in Tulsa.
All right.
It was a big deal. So we got the invite to go, right? And so, of course, I'm the early bird. Charles is not the early bird. We
No,
all know
I'm
this,
not.
right? And so I get there. Well,
But
first of all,
if you told him there was food, that should have motivated
so
him.
that's why he came, because
I
you heard
still
me
came
say
on in.
breakfast.
Yes.
I came
Right?
on in.
Right?
Yeah.
So he was coming. He's just gonna be a little bit later than everybody else, but he gonna get there.
Yes.
But so when I get there though, when I pull up to the event, the parking lot is like full.
Hey.
Like full.
Wow.
Where was it held?
At the Greenwood Cultural Center.
Okay.
So when I pull up, I'm like, man, there's no parking space. So of course I
Wow.
created my own parking space.
Yeah.
And so I go in, and when I walk in, it's like the who's who
What?
in the housing and development space are in this place.
Wow.
And I'm like, whoa, okay, didn't know. So I called Charles. And I'm like, hey,
You better
Get
come
here
on.
now.
man, you better get here. And I'm like the
Yeah.
news is here. Like, everybody, this
Yeah.
is a huge deal,
Yeah.
right? I'm like, I don't know what's about to happen, but this is a huge deal.
Yeah.
And so anyway, the long and short of it is that they are going to be helping Tulsa find ways to create affordable housing. And so some of the things that and I'll just give a few of these statistics really
Yeah, 'cause
quick.
it's-
So the mayor told us that we need at least 6,000 affordable housing units in Tulsa. 46% of Tulsans are burdened by housing costs. 1 in 4 Tulsans live in poverty. 1 in 3 right here in North Tulsa live in poverty individually. Housing is the #1 cause of homelessness, and at least 900 students in the Tulsa public school system are homeless. And we are 15th in evictions in the nation.
And that's too high. That's a lot
Yeah.
going on. That's why when you say housing space, it's a lot more people in that space,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it was big
Wow.
on a high level when they came in.
So we had Housing Partnership Network. Their CEO and president came in to be with us. And what was her name again?
Robin Hughes.
Robin Hughes. Okay, thank you. Don't have my glasses on. But anyway, so she said that there's a nationwide shortage of homes. Like, we're 4 million homes short in the entire nation.
Rental and home ownership.
Wow.
4 million
4
nationwide.
million.
Wow.
Short.
Wow.
So
And not just affordable, just overall.
no,
Just
overall.
overall.
Wow.
No, just overall. And so the goal here with our mayor is going to be to reduce blighted properties by 60% over the next 4 years, to increase affordable housing stock, to reduce the eviction rate, and to create programs at the city that's going to help developers drive down the cost to develop affordable housing.
Excellent.
And he's going to be hiring a senior advisor of housing. They're going to be on board in January for his administration.
Excellent.
So, I mean, there's just so much. And so right here in Tulsa, we need to build 13,000 homes. And that's
13,000.
affordable and home ownership.
Okay.
And half of those need to be affordable.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on.
Is there a definition of what affordable is? Is affordable, less than $200,000, or because affordable could mean
Yeah,
different
that's a
things to
good
different
question.
people.
Yeah.
Because
So-
of your income.
Right, because of
Right.
your income. So
I'll add that they said, and I didn't know this, a person that making minimum wage in Tulsa would have to work 80 hours per week to afford a 1-bedroom. That just to let you
Yeah.
know.
So
And
that goes to
typically-
show you how low the income
And
is.
typically in Tulsa, 50% of people's income is going to their housing.
Right.
50%.
Yeah.
So you don't have much to do
Right.
whatever else you're trying to do.
Right.
So it was staggering stats. Another part of that was the CDF I was there.
Yeah.
So minority developers, they have programs
Right.
to help them with capacity and gap funding. So that was another huge piece.
Okay.
And I even met a lady yesterday. So the networking piece was major.
It was awesome.
And I met a lady from ONG who actually told us that they have rebates that they offer builders for who are building multifamily units.
Wow.
Which is something that if you don't know about that, you might want to look into that.
Yes,
And so it's like if there's at least 4 meters. So what we're talking about is gas meter plus if you have like your furnace and your hot water tank, times 4. Then they have some rebates and things that you can qualify for. So she gave me a card, so I'll share that information with you.
Yeah, so what we're gonna do is gonna post a link on our Facebook because this is a lot to unpack.
Yes,
It's a lot.
It's a lot to unpack.
It's a lot.
But we're gonna have our
Yes.
mayor come on and we're
Please.
gonna
I
dig
can't wait
into
to
it.
that show.
Make sure y'all tune in because we're gonna see where to go, what to do. Minority developers, they have a lot of programs to help build capacity.
That's
So we can be able to play
exactly what-
ball in the space.
Up our
Yeah,
alley.
All right,
yeah.
good job.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to our Hump Day Hot Topic.
Hump Day Hot Topics.
Hump
We'll
Day.
roll through them really quick. Only got a couple.
Ladies and gentlemen, the all new KBOB 89.9 FM, Black on Black Community Radio.
And now it's time for the Hump Day Hot Topics with Charles and Damali.
Hey, guess what day it is? Hump Day! Hump Day! It's Hump Day!
Hey, Mike. It's the Hump Day Hot Topics on news you can use.
JB Smooth is legendary on these drops.
Right.
You can't change yours. The medical report is going to go
Yeah.
in.
2025, it made the cut.
Hump Day, we just kind of stuck.
Made
We're
the
going to change
cut.
some others, but
Yeah.
you can't change that.
Exactly.
Okay, what we got?
All right, so Hump Day Hot Topic. So this is a hot topic for sure. If you do not know who Shedeur Sanders is, then you should know. He is the 22-year-old quarterback for the Colorado Buffaloes. He recently won the prestigious 2024 Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award. It is a major honor for college football's top upperclassmen quarterbacks. And he said, this is what he says. He said, I just want to thank God for the opportunity. I'm very excited about being recognized as the best quarterback in college football.
Man.
And this means a lot to me. He is set now to go into the NFL next year, right? Is the goal. And if you don't know, he is the son of NFL NFL Hall of Famer Deion Sanders. And he has also been named the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year in just only 2 seasons as a Chicago Buffalo.
Y'all been following prime time a little bit over there in
Yeah.
Colorado, man. Come on.
Listen, we love us some prime time.
Yes. Yes.
And considering the way that their season went last year with them losing, I don't know, 5 or 6 games in a row, and people were last year, and people were talking about, well, you know what, maybe he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Now look at him.
Yeah. And now they're predicting that he will be selected within the top 5 for the NFL.
I looked at a mock draft, and he going number 1.
Hey, listen, the Las Vegas Raiders are hoping to get him.
Oh,
I know the Raiders trying, the Cowboys are, the Giants.
Yeah. Well, the problem is, hey, you know what? Not all of those establishments will be good for him. So hopefully, you know what, God will create a plan for him to be at a team that will be able to take care of him and help him to be successful.
And I'll just add this. It's just the fact that we know that started what they was doing at Jackson State.
Yep.
At an HBC.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, it actually started at was his high school called Prime University?
Yeah.
It was called Prime University. So
Yep.
it started that he actually developed a high school, and a lot of those kids went on and had very successful careers because his brother Shiloh actually was playing there too. So
because what happens a lot of time is people just say we can't do it.
Yeah.
And so Primetime.
or when we do
Yeah,
it,
remember
they want to find something wrong with it.
Primetime couldn't get no big college football job. People don't know he was being denied. So
Yep.
Jackson State was the first one to give him the opportunity.
Yep.
But then when he had all that success, that's just because of the small school HBCU.
Right.
So he took them same superstar
Took
kids,
that
his
show on the
son,
road.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I love
took it
that.
to Colorado.
And Colorado was,
And
I
now-
think they were 1-11, or I think they were
Worse, 1 and
1
11.
yeah,
No, 1 and 11.
1-11
Right.
when he took the job.
Yeah.
And now they're
look
looking at
now they 10-2.
then they're looking at his son going number 1.
And he brought all his people in. He was like,
Yeah.
y'all got
And
to
then
go.
Travis Hunter projected to go number 3.
I got my
Yeah,
people.
yeah. Well, or Travis Hunter might go number 1, and he
One.
might go number 3.
Yes.
They
Think about that,
they're
man.
gonna go in the top 3. Those
Kudos
two
to
guys.
them, man.
Yep.
That's some
Shout
news you
out.
can use
Yep,
right there.
absolutely.
Exactly. Hey, so we want to also give another shout out to, did you guys know that the first Black director of the U.S. Mint, her name is Beatrice Gibson. She has now made a limited edition coin. It's the Harriet Tubman commemorative silver and gold coin series.
Wow.
And they are going to be available through December 31st. So you guys might want to get these for Christmas gifts, okay?
That's good.
Yeah.
There is a silver dollar that portrays Tubman as a fearless conductor on the Underground Railroad. There's a $50 coin that reflects her service in the Civil War, featuring her with a spyglass in hand, symbolizing her role in scouting and strategizing for the Union Army. And then there's a $5 gold coin, which depicts her in her latter years looking confidently into the future, representing her lifelong commitment to faith, freedom, and equality. These are going to be, you can either buy them individually or you can buy them as a set, but they're going to be available
That's
through
huge.
December
I love
31st.
that.
Okay, well,
gotta get
listen,
mine.
my wife actually collects coins.
Look,
Yeah,
she already
look,
ready.
she
You know,
been
she started
ready.
doing this.
Yeah,
She
she's
started
like,
reading.
yeah.
She's already rubbing her
Christmas
hands
present.
together.
Yeah.
So we're
Can
going
we
to post that link.
Yeah.
We had one more hot topic. The Muskogee Roughers took on the Choctaw
Choctaw.
Yellow Jackets last week to go back-to-back seasons as Division 2 state champs in 6A. And Muskogee fell to Choctaw 26-25.
Oh, wow.
They
That
led
was
the
field
game.
goal.
They led the entire game, and
Right.
then second half, Choctaw came back and 19 unanswered points in a state championship, but just won't do it.
Yeah.
So Choctaw went on to win. But Muskogee, I gotta give a shout out to Muskogee because
Oh, yeah.
Make
those
it happen.
guys really been grinding really hard. That's the hometown. And Coach Travis Hill, Monday, Coach Travis Hill, it took a job at Broken Arrow as the head coach
I
of
heard
Broken
that.
Arrow.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
He was a
okay.
good chair.
So,
Wow, yes.
Yeah.
Muskogee's searching for a new head coach right now. I hear some rumors, but I won't put those out there.
Right.
But it'd be good. Travis leaving, but shout out to Travis Hill and everything he did to help the Muskogee Roughers.
And
come
I'll
back.
say another in 6A1, which is the largest. They
Yeah.
all large, but the
Right.
largest. Then it was the Wasso,
Owasso.
who had
Yes.
went
And Bixby
undefeated
did
all
all
year,
year.
and Bixby
Yes.
at UCL, and it was
I couldn't
crazy.
believe it.
They went for a 2-point
Yes.
at the end and won.
I
Yeah.
could
At
not
the
believe
end.
that was so
7 in a row.
Yep.
Yes.
Bixby started 7 in a row. That's
Yeah.
a record.
Yeah.
A tie for the record.
Yeah.
And then after they won, now Owasso head coach that used to be at Union announced that he's going to be going to Union.
Yeah,
No.
going back
Oh,
to
it's musical
Union.
chairs going on, Doc.
It's
It's the
crazy.
musical
It's
chairs.
crazy in
So
football right
after
now. High
1
school
year
football.
at Owasso, he's
Yeah.
going.
Turn that.
What was
Union.
such a successful season?
Yeah.
Ain't no place like home.
I think it's
Yeah.
money. I
That's
think
all I
it's
can
money
say.
motivated.
It's gotta,
gotta
be.
be.
It's gotta be.
And you know what? And with kids,
Oh, those
their
poor
ability to
boys.
transfer, you don't be surprised if a
Yeah.
bunch of the kids from
Kids
Owasso
transfer.
transfer
Yeah,
right to
transfer
you.
right, yep.
You never know
Yeah.
what's going to happen.
They're all heavy hitting schools, so
Yeah.
congratulations to
Yeah.
all of them.
Yeah.
A lot of
Kudos
changes.
to all of them.
Yeah. All right. Black History Trivia.
Uh-oh.
Oh, so we're going to give you the opportunity because you didn't get the opportunity to answer. Okay. Black History Trivia. What is the real meaning of Jingle Bells? Is it A, a Christmas song, B, a movie, C, a harness, or D, a location in the South? Jolie. Dee-doo, dee-doo. No.
And you get a chance to put your name in the hat to win a ticket.
Yeah.
Well, what? So
You want me to read it
One
again?
more time.
Yeah.
Come on,
Okay, one more time. We'll read
Hey,
it.
You know what
one
it
more time.
was? It was all that theatrical music.
it
I know.
was-
She almost
Yeah.
had it, but she was like, oh my
Yeah,
God.
she's like, oh my
just-
God, what is it? Hold on.
it was
Yeah,
extra
yeah,
pressure,
yeah.
extra
That doom, doom, doom,
pressure.
doom.
Okay, here we go. What is the real meaning of Jingle Bells?
Yes.
Is it A, a Christmas song, B, a movie, C, a harness, or D, a location in the South?
I can see.
I don't think it's a song because that's too on the nose. That's
Right.
too obvious.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a location in the South because I don't remember any of our people using that as like code for anything.
Right.
Okay.
I think it was. I'm gonna go with a harness only because of a movie I saw. I'm gonna go with that.
Just gonna go with it.
I'm gonna just go with that. I don't know.
Well, you gotta
Well-
drop that answer.
Well, then you would be correct. It would be C.
There you go.
So
There's trickery on this
Jingle Bells was originally a collar with bells on it that would have been used to deter attempted escapes of slavery that had previously tried to win their freedom.
I ain't even know about that, but I
Yes.
Read that again. Wait a minute.
Oh man.
JB.
Hold on. Listen, see what I don't like. See, my birthday is on Christmas. I'm thinking of all the good stuff.
Okay.
Now you done got the jingle bell and said what?
Yes. So
Slave
Jingle
collar.
Bells is a collar with bells that would have been used to deter attempted escape by a slave that had previously tried to win his or her freedom by running away. So if you ran away, remember you were talking about
Take it
your
off the list.
people ran
Keep playing
away. Your people would have ran away if they were slaves. So if you
They'd have
ran
put
away
that
and they
collar
caught
on
you,
them.
they'd have put that collar on with the bells on it, so you ain't running away no
after
more.
Man, they
beat
was
you.
not playing.
After they beat you, then they
God,
put the collar on.
how is this song in rotation?
Yes.
Jingle bell,
Yeah.
jingle bell. All the kids.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
Hey, listen.
you
Hey,
get
listen.
attached to Christmas?
You know why it's in rotation.
They commercialized it.
You know exactly why.
You
Yeah.
know why it's in rotation. So,
Yeah.
so
Y'all don't know what y'all gonna do. But me and Jingle Bells is not friends
Yeah,
no more.
So do we
let's
pull
keep it
Jingle
real.
Bells out of rotation?
Pull Jingle Bells out
It's
now.
out.
Jingle Bells is out.
Consensus.
You can pull that one out of rotation.
Jingle Bells would not be sung around here no more.
No,
That's
we got
right.
the Jingle
No,
Bells.
no.
That's about like Django.
Right.
Jingle and Django hanging together.
Maybe we can stick with Carol of the Bells.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Those
I don't know.
are-
Let me
all
do
the
some
bells.
research.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we may find out something
Yeah.
about that later on.
Yeah.
We need some happy bells.
That's what I'm saying, but that's not. So all of y'all listening in, local, national,
Sorry.
international, then hey, that's why you listening to
That's
the show.
right.
Yeah, you
We
find
bring
out some
you
things
your
you
black
don't know.
Serious
history
news you
trivia.
can use.
Black
Yes,
history
indeed.
trivia.
Yes, indeed.
All right.
So what movie was that? Before you pass it on.
No. It wasn't in a movie.
They-
Oh, what are you talking about?
I saw it in a movie.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
It was
And it
it was
triggered.
actually a children's movie.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Christmas
Man.
Chronicles.
That's
but
kind of dark.
it wasn't that kind of collar. It was a different kind of collar.
Oh, okay.
So
And so they also used to put them on horses as well.
that's the collar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they would do it for horses
Yeah.
as well. But originally, it was for the slaves.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Why
how
would
thought
they
of
do
it.
that and make it a song that we sing for the kids in school?
You're disturbed by the
At
whole
Christmas
song.
I am
time.
so
Okay.
disturbed.
I'm with you on that, Charles.
That is just
that's
disturbing.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is.
And we'll leave it at that.
yeah.
All right, we'll leave it at
Okay,
that.
so
JB
with
gonna
that
give us some
being
music.
said, Doc and
switch it.
Jolie and JB,
I'm gonna let
then
JB.
you guys get your names put in the drawing.
Let's go.
Okay.
Just like
And
that.
Dr. Purdue too.
I already said that.
Yeah.
Let them know what they're gonna get a
Triple
chance to win. 'Cause they
You're
gotta-
going to get a chance to win tickets to go see Keith Washington with special guests, and I do mean special guests, the Tankards, Ben Tankard, world-renowned pianist from the Bravo TV show Thicker Than Water. It's all happening at the Delta Hotel by Marriott in Oklahoma City at 5750 Will Rogers Road. You'll get hotel, and you'll get to experience red carpet, hosted by comedian Brenda Walls and Shucky Ducky
Chuck and
Quack Quack.
Hey,
All
You've
of
been
that.
waiting for this all
I've
day.
been waiting.
Followed by an amazing concert with dinner, and I mean, the vibe is really romantic.
Wow, that sounds like that's off
Yeah.
the chain.
Yeah.
Keith,
February
Keith
14th.
Washington, Michael Fields Jr., Jermaine Mundane, saxophonist. If you don't know who he is a beast.
Yeah.
And Ben Tankard to top it off,
Yeah.
world-renowned pianist. It's going to be an elegant evening, so put your best on. I'm
Yeah.
telling you now.
Yeah.
We know what couples and cocktails look like because
We hosted
we've
it.
seen two of them, and it is really up there.
Yeah.
So,
Ooh,
and that's
we get
Valentine's Day,
two drawings.
2025.
Yeah, so you got
Ooh,
two chances.
Now, if you're not in a drawing, all you got to do is go to Couples and Cocktails right now to get
Okay.
your tickets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's worth it.
Okay,
I
so
would
we need to
When's
figure
the
out what's going to
drawing?
happen
So
when the
we know
drawing
if
is
we
going to
don't
occur.
get the drawing, I need to hustle to the.
I'm not sure.
website.
It'll probably be early
No.
February.
It's
No,
gotta-
we're gonna do that by the end of the month.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, you guys be on the lookout.
Yes, we'll keep you posted.
Yeah, and we'll keep you posted.
Upcoming events.
Upcoming events. So the 36th Street North Event Center has dates available if you're looking for a place to hold your wedding, birthday party, banquet, repast dinner, community event, etc. Give us a call at 918-200-9046 to reserve your spot. This week on Our Community, Our Health, which is December 13th at 12 o'clock noon, our lovely Dr. Andre Perdue will have special guests, Dr. Stephen Lahr and Tiffany Stuckey on the show to discuss wellness in response to seasonal affective disorder.
Right.
So you can tune in via Facebook at Our Community, Our Health, or locally on KBOB 89.9 FM, or via live stream at KBOB899.com. Crossover Sports and Fitness, located at 1010 East 36th Street North, is hosting its 1-year anniversary party.
Oh, cool.
It's an ugly sweater event, so dress to impress
Christmas
in
sweater.
your worst holiday sweater. December 14th from 8:30 to 1 o'clock p.m. There's going to be free vendor spaces available. You can call 918-346-9111 to reserve a booth. The Eating Out Band All-White Holiday Affair.
Yes. December 28th.
December 28th at 7 o'clock p.m. at the 36th Street North Event Center, located at 1125 East 36th Street North. You can get your tickets at what's the site?
allwhitetulsa.eventbrite.com.
Yeah,
VIP
it like
table.
the radio, huh?
I know, right?
We are on the radio.
Allwhitetulsa.eventbrite.com.
He changed it on me. It was a different name, and then he changed it to something different, and I keep forgetting it.
allwhitetulsa.eventbrite.com.
And so there are VIP tables available. So just go to Eventbrite to get your tickets and to get more information. Then there's going to be a New Year's Eve party happening at the 36th Street North Event Center, 1125 East 36th Street North. That's going to be with the Keeping It Real band.
Keeping It Real, Kevin Keys.
Listen,
Let me tell
if
you,
y'all
this
don't
is the
know,
one.
hey, tell them about the
If
food.
you wonder
Charles.
where everybody, well, you know the food is first. People already know that. But last year, people was wondering, where's everybody at? Everybody was at the event center.
Man.
It was wall to wall. And the buffet of food is from wall to wall. So you think of that food that you eat on, so whether it's black eyed peas, collard greens, neck bones,
Yeah, it was crazy.
baked chicken,
It was crazy.
mashed potatoes,
Man.
yams, cabbage.
It sounds like we're going to be up in the
Jiffy,
spot.
hot pot,
Okay.
cornbread, any food you can think of. It's there along with great. So Miss B, her and Kevin Keys, it's a big deal, y'all.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Every year.
So to get tickets, you can contact Kevin Keys at 918-927-6134. So now that's 2 events back to back, the 28th and the New Year's Eve.
Can't say you don't have nothing to do.
I was just going to say that. Don't say you ain't got nothing to do.
Exactly. All right. And then Couples and Cocktails. We've talked about it a little bit. It's going to be happening February the 14th at 7 o'clock p.m. It's featuring Keith Washington, Michael Fields Jr., Ben Tanker, Jeremy Jackson, and more. It's going to be at the Reed Conference Center, which is located at 5665 Tinker Diagonal in Oklahoma City. This is a fundraiser benefiting Guardian Care, which is a nonprofit organization that provides transitional service to homeless veterans.
Oh, okay.
So it's a party with a purpose.
Yeah.
Right?
I love it.
All right. So birthdays. December 11th.
Whose birthday is it?
Kuma Roberts
Roberts, happy
and
birthday.
Reverend Dr. Joey Crutcher
Happy
are
birthday.
celebrating their birthday.
Congratulations.
December 12th, we got Nate Morris is having a birthday. December 14th, Pastor Jamal Dyer and our soror, Miss Paget Hill. And then we have December 15th, Uncle Brian. Brian Doran has a birthday.
Happy birthday, y'all.
Yes.
Hey, it's been a great show.
Yes.
December
has been.
23rd is our anniversary.
Oh, happy
Yes, it is.
anniversary.
We got to write that down.
Yes.
On that anniversary on that.
It'll be 29 years.
December 23rd.
Doc, I asked you at the beginning of the year, because I said I was going to ask you at the end. Are you encouraged or discouraged
You know
about
what?
our community and our health?
Listen, I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged because I
Hand
think
clap, JB.
Yes.
we've made some major strides. I think that with the new political structure that is coming in place, we just have to be on our P's and Q's. We got to take care of each other. We got to make sure we make wise decisions. And sometimes, even if the program may not be necessarily built for you, doesn't necessarily mean that you can't reap a benefit from the program that's been built.
That part.
So that's what we need to do.
Yeah.
I got a question. Are you encouraged or discouraged that JB is going to limit his pork chops in 2025?
Not happening.
Oh,
He's thinking about it. praying
Good
about
try,
it.
Jamali.
come on.
Thought I'd slide it in there.
Hey.
Yeah, what is it?
Listen. We'll keep working on JB. We just want JB around, happy. We want to make sure that JB's frisky.
Right.
There you go.
We want him
There you
frisky.
go.
I have one goal, and that's to lose 100 pounds.
Well, you can't
In
do it when you keep
2025?
eating them pork chops.
I don't think that the pork chops is what it is.
Oh, okay.
Okay. This being a couch
Well, listen,
potato.
you know what? Hey, that's a great goal, but the most important thing is just when you get on the road, take one foot after the other. Next thing you know, you lost 5, then you lost 10.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you have that big number, that big number out there, and it's like, oh, well, I should be further along than I should be, and then you end up falling off the path.
So just say 20 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Hey, start with 5.
1 or 2.
Yeah. 5 is tough.
Yeah.
At our age, 5 is hard.
Yeah.
That's right.
Up that 5 pounds of Thanksgiving, I'm still packing it around. Final thoughts before we go, Doc. What you got?
Listen, you know what? What a fantastic show. I don't know. I don't realize how much I miss you guys until, unfortunately, sometimes when I'm gone for a little bit. But I love the fact that for 2025, we all should be working within our superpower.
Come on.
And you know what? That takes some introspection. It takes some sacrifice. It takes
Sometimes
prayer.
some discomfort.
It takes some discomfort. But you know what? If we're all working within our superpower, this world will be a better place.
Amen.
Bro, we don't want to hear
Jolie,
bells.
your
No
final
bells.
thoughts, but you also, for the live audience, you got a friend, a cousin, a partner came anytime from LA.
I do.
We got a shout out to Tulsa
I
to show us
do.
some love.
A shout out to my bestie, Nikki.
Hey,
Nikki, y'all.
We went
Hey.
to elementary together.
Oh,
so
wow. She
Wow.
a
She go all the way
friend.
back.
She a family friend.
Yes.
But I am encouraged, not that you asked me, but
Yeah.
I am
Interesting.
encouraged about our housing situation.
Mhm.
I am encouraged and excited and motivated to create even more opportunities for housing. And on that topic, we just finished building a house that is available
It's
for
available?
purchase. It's
Yep.
beautiful. It's on Xanthus,
No Xanthus? We
Look
got to
it
get
up.
that address.
What's the
We gonna
address?
post it.
3140 Xanthus in Tulsa.
Okay.
Yeah, let me stay
All
in it.
right.
I thought it was 3136.
No, baby.
That's like
We
Riverside.
gonna get it
No,
posted.
baby. 3140. Is it
And-
north?
That's Riverside or south, north.
North.
It's
North.
Oh,
Yeah.
Memphis.
Right
Okay.
off Apache.
Yeah. I know. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me,
I'm gonna check it out.
It's,
I
it's
am.
beautiful.
Let me stay in it till you sell it.
Yeah.
No, I'm just,
Just like us.
Hey,
is-
I know. Let me-
it's a
It's a
3-bedroom
bedroom.
and 2
Yes.
baths.
Yes.
Got a garage?
Yes.
Backyard. It's
One,
congratulations.
fenced in.
Yes.
Somebody
We're
else.
thinking about the family with this one.
So is this an affordable property or is this just a reg?
Well, and like what he was saying,
Depends on what
it
you call
depends
affordable.
on what is
Depends on
affordable.
what you call
We don't know, but we're willing to work with
We're
people.
willing to work
We're
with
willing to
folks.
work
Okay.
with people.
And this was the first house that was built under my wife's business, Ackerman and Structure.
Oh.
I'm very
So
proud of it.
sis.
That's my baby.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes. I'm going to go check it out.
And I was thinking of the family, so the kids are on the other side of the house.
That
You know
part?
what I'm saying.
Yep. That
Nice.
I love it.
Yes,
I'm going
love
by to
it.
see it. Damali,
Yes.
what's your final thoughts? You know, we got
I am encouraged that me and Jolie are staying on the purple train. You see her nails?
love it.
Check
I
it out.
see-
Check
I
out
see
the
what's
nails.
going on.
Yeah,
I see
yeah,
what's
yeah,
going
yeah.
on.
And I'm also encouraged too that we are making great strides. I think that North Tulsa as a whole, we are doing some phenomenal things. And I think the goal of this show has always been to showcase what it is that we're doing in community. So I am very encouraged that we continue to have a plethora of stories to share and to, to share with the community and the world in general. So,
Right.
And
I
a
think we're going
plethora
to
of
keep going.
positive stories.
Absolutely.
That's what I
Yes.
think is so important.
Yes.
Shining a light on the positive. Not
Right.
there's so much negative out there.
We need
Absolutely.
some positive. My
Yeah.
final thing, I just want to say, Doc, thank you
Mhm.
for 5 years of hanging out with us.
Yeah.
You didn't have to do it just like that. We was at the old station, remember?
We was at the old
We was trying
yes.
to get our hairline together and our beards and stuff. You know, we done figured that out. Got our tattoos and stuff together. It's been a minute.
It's crazy.
But we have helped our community be
Yes.
healthier, be better, have a
Yeah.
better mental health. And he always tell him, I'm not your primary, but I am a person here for you monthly
Yeah.
to help you. And a lot of people doing a lot better in life, including us,
Yes.
because of Dr. Fergie. So we appreciate that.
Thank you, my
JB?
brother. I appreciate it.
You know what it is. Keep it real with yourself, man.
Okay.
All right. Well, please consider donating to E-Media Services to help our community radio continue to stay on the air. You can send your donation made payable to E-Media Services. Send that to 1216 North Lansing Avenue, Suite D. We moved on up, y'all. Tulsa, Oklahoma, 74106. This has been News You Can Use. I'm one of your hosts, Mr. Charles Hopper,
And I'm Damali Wilson.
and we are live every Wednesday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. So make sure you tune in.
I think that's my cue. So if you would like to donate, promote, or advertise your events or business on this show, inbox us on Facebook, social media. I think Facebook crashed today, but it's back up now. So congratulations, Facebook. you hit a milestone.
Yeah.
All right, you're sending everybody into a frenzy. But
Right.
yes, social media at World One Development. Just shoot us an inbox. Someone will reach back out to you. This has been World One Development's News You Can Use with your hosts, Mr. Charles Harper, Mr. Molly Wilson, special guest host, Dr. Verdue, and Jolie Verdue.
Yes.
My better half.
Medical reports every second Wednesday of the month. Views, thoughts, opinions expressed on this program belong solely to the host and their guests and not necessarily to this station, organization, committee, or other groups or individuals associated with KBOB 89.9, Eden Media Services, NYCU.FM, and World One Development's News You Can Use. Anything else, guys?
Hey, Polo Pal from St. Louis, thanks for my shirt. That was amazing.
Yes. Nice shirt.
Appreciate
Nice
it, St. Louis,
shirt.
and
Yes.
Polo Pal.
Great
My
job,
frat.
Frat. Yeah.
We out, y'all.
We out.